WHGE 95.3 FM coming up, the Open Eye. Hey, what's up, brother boy? I see you there. All right. Ready? Yo. Yeah, I'm going out. We just pop on. He's like yelling on the radio, ain't you? That's like, yeah, you just got here. Oh, you 10 minutes late. That's why. Ford, what's good, brother Misfire?
Or commit intellectual violence don't do so for the pleasure of mental masturbation or ego diddling. We do so because the chains of oppression on our people's minds are deep and difficult to remove.
Good morning, my children of the sun. Welcome to the Open Eye on WHGE 95.3 FM. I'm your host and third eye optometrist, Patrice Gibbs, joined by our intellectual surgeon, Nsoromma. What's up, brother?
Yaga, wagwan, Hello, world. What's good? What's good?
All right. I tell you what's good. You came to learn something, and I ain't going to disappoint you.
All right, that's what it is.
Yeah, every generation has its purpose.
Right.
Ours is to reveal the truth and reverse the brainwashing.
That's right.
And that's what we do right here on the Open Eye. Let me get the disclaimer out the way. The views and opinions expressed on the Open Eye are those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the policy or position of WHGE 95.3 FM nor our sponsor, the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets. Any content provided by Open Eye's hosts, guests, or contributors are theirs and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, company, or individual. WHGE 95.3 FM. True teaching is not accumulation of knowledge. It is an awakening of consciousness which goes through successive stages. That's a Kemetic proverb. Right? The ancient people of Kemet, they knew what it was about. You know, here's a crazy thing.
What?
First, they told us, don't talk about slavery. Slavery was so long ago. Now they tell us, don't talk about racism, because talking about racism is actually another form of racism, because it makes other people uncomfortable. You think I give a damn about your comfort?
Hold up. You said, don't talk about racism because it's another form of racism.
Yeah, it's another form of racism to talk about racism.
Yo, they do and say all kind of stuff to not have us be recognized for what they did to us.
Right.
You know, that's crazy.
You know, it's like, I remember this time, this person said something slick to me.
What?
And I cussed their ass out.
Oh, boom.
And then they came and found me and said, you know, I really didn't appreciate. Whoa, wait a minute.
Like you was wrong.
Yeah, first of all, how did you get the idea that I gave a damn what you appreciate? That's first of all. Second of all, you got a lot of nerve to come chastise me for reacting to the disrespect that you meted out to me.
Right, like I'm just gonna take that. Like, no, this ain't the same type of N-words back in the day that's going on right now, my brother.
No, we a whole nother breed here. You know, all these attacks on black history are done for a single purpose, and that is to affect black futures. Because when you have knowledge of your history, it affects how you view yourself in the world.
Right.
The battles over black history and education right now are not just about erasure, are not just about denial. They're literally about the future of black self-determination.
Right.
And that's what that's about. You know, I tell you, man.
And what you think about them bringing all the other immigrants in, taking the black place, making us even lower on the totem pole now, giving them all the benefits that we're supposed to be getting.
You know, and you know what? And I see. Here's the thing. These people come in and they really are being fooled because the white supremacists don't like them at all. They don't like them no more than they like us.
But they like them a little better than us.
Well, yeah. Go see the thing is,
a tad better than us.
Yeah. The thing is, they scared of us. They really scared of us.
Right.
Because, you know, when left to our own devices, we have shown what we are capable of.
Right.
And that scares the hell out of them. That's why, like, for instance, they come up with the model minority.
Model minority?
Yeah.
Well, that's the first time I heard that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let me tell you about the model minority since we're on the topic.
All right.
As a rule, they point to Asian people as model minorities. Because they say, you know, education, they're more concerned about education and business and this, that, and that. But just like any other people, they do dumb stuff. Okay? And let me tell you about the dumbest stuff they did this summer.
What?
And it might have been in the fall, all right, when financed by this dude named Bloom, the white supremacist that has been going after black people for years after affirmative action.
Right.
Right. He financed some Asians to file a suit against affirmative action and took it all the way to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court basically gutted and struck down affirmative action. And with these Asians were...
But the original affirmative action?
Yeah, well, no, the original affirmative action is affirmative action for white people. Yeah. No, the affirmative action that was supposed to help black people but wound up really helping nobody but white women for the most part.
Oh, okay.
But what the Asians were saying was black people were getting their slots in college and it was keeping them out of school. First of all, let me say this to anybody that didn't get in college and think it was because of a black person. Maybe your dumb ass wasn't qualified. Plain and simple. Ain't nobody get your slot. You just didn't measure up.
Didn't pass the test.
Test. That's word.
Test.
You know, and that black person did. And how do you know it wasn't some white person that got your slot, which is more likely the case.
Right.
Because they have this thing called legacy enrollment.
Okay.
And a legacy enrollment is
when your parent is an alumni of the school that gives you points to get in the school.
Right.
Whether your dumbass qualified or not. Okay.
So if my parent was an alumni and yours wasn't, and we going to get in school the same time, I have a better chance than you, because my parents can go, hey, yo, Pat, can you know that's my son right there. I mean, they all do that in everything. You know, that's crazy.
So what happened was affirmative action was struck down. And when affirmative action was struck down, the Asians who were, used to strike it down, come to find out they don't want to let them in either, which is dumbass thing. They just used you. That's all they did. Now, the Asians are running around worried about, the college admissions for Asian children. Because, see, you thought that you were being accepted by the dominant white supremacists. And you weren't accepted by them. They just used you. All right? You didn't pay attention to what was going on. And now you're sitting around talking about, well, why didn't black people warn us about this? We did.
Usury, they the #1 usury. That's in their blood, ain't it?
Now, here's the thing. All right? They didn't pay attention. And they'd have paid attention thinking that, they're going to be in white proximity and whites are going to accept them, right? They moved in the white suburban neighborhoods.
Wow.
Okay? And you know what the white people did?
What?
They said, these Chinese kids or these Asian kids and what have you, their test scores are something else, and they're scoring higher than our kids. You know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to move away. So what you had was white flight from Asian people.
Wow.
Okay? And you were segregated against just like black people.
Wow.
Yeah. See, in America, there's over 400 years of documented torture, rape, murder, terrorism committed by Caucasians. And guess who was not the only people to suffer from that? We were not the only ones to suffer from that. Asians were victims of that too. Okay? The Chinese that helped build a railroad. You ever heard the saying, not a Chinaman's chance?
Not a Chinaman's chance in hell?
Yeah.
That's what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think I heard of that before.
Well, what they did was they would, they had to, blast mountains and blast tunnels out. And they would use the Asian laborers, to place the explosives, right? They would lower them down on a cliff. And the Asians would place the explosives, and then they were supposed to reel them back up.
But they did. Yo, that's brutal.
Yeah. And that's why you don't have a Chinaman's chance.
They come up with the weirdest sayings from the weirdest things and the most...
They're creepy, man.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yep. But yet, black people are labeled as having violent tendencies. Okay, we didn't run around lynching people for fun. What was it? About 10 years ago in Calgary or one of those Canadian cities or whatever. Right. Their hockey team lost. They tore that city up.
I didn't know that hockey was a black sport at first, man. I didn't know that till a couple days ago. I was like, wow.
Yeah, we invented hockey.
And now it ain't like no black people was in hockey. These were the ones that, that's crazy.
And if you see a black person in hockey, you can believe the fans are in the stands calling them monkeys and N-words.
Oh, yeah.
And this, that, and the other.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Now, a quote here from Malcolm. If violence is wrong in America, I got this from Brother Vaughn, and as you listen to this, what is it?
Thanks, Brother Vaughn.
Yeah, replace the word draft with recruit. Okay, that's what I'm going to do.
Recruit. Okay.
Okay, because this is from the 60s, and that's when they had the draft. All right, now they recruit. What they do is they recruit black and poor people and marginalized people into the military by promising them education and this, that, and the other, and getting you out of poverty and this, that, and the other.
Paying for your house.
Yeah, and they make it sound good and look good.
GI Bill, hey, when that was around, the GI Bill?
Oh, yeah, they renewed the GI Bill. Of course, initially when they had the GI Bill, it was denied to black people.
Right.
Well, Malcolm said, if violence is wrong in America, violence is wrong abroad. If it is wrong to be violent defending black women and black children and black babies and black men, then it's wrong for America to recruit us and make us violent abroad in defense of her. And if it is right for America to draft us and teach us to be violent in defense of her, then it is right for you and me to do whatever is necessary to defend our people right here in this country. Malcolm X. Don't get it mixed. Yeah. Don't get it mixed.
Asians had their hate crime bill. Meanwhile, we have yet still waiting. Brother Jardale, most definitely. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they're the model minority. And what they do is they put out there that, Asians have seen an uptick in racial violence against them, and it was from black people. No, it wasn't. That's a damn lie. Ooh. It was white supremacists jumping on Asians. And they got like you said, they got a hate crime bill.
Right? But we've been beat up and tortured and hung. Where's the black people hate crime bill?
As Joe Biden, as Jim Crow Joe.
He the one that's doing it. He said, what you call him?
Jim Crow Joe.
Jim Crow.
Don't get him mixed.
And he got dementia now.
Or something.
So, I couldn't believe it. How is he still president? How is he still president?
And he's running for president again.
And come on, man, he 107.
Yeah.
Running for a presidency still.
Yeah. But who's going to be his opponent? Because the likelihood that his opponent is going to be the Orange Disaster.
Don't the tolls got him winning already?
But of course we're early in the polls and what have you.
Boy.
And I tell you, the Orange Disaster, from what I understand, doesn't change his Depends regularly, and he smells rather pissy. WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye.
He smells rather pissy. Yo, your boy is crazy, man. What's up? Yo, Jardale, what's happening, homie? Hey, yo, Mr. B, get back up here. Look, I'm trying to do too much. Brother Miss Sherry. Hey, what's up, y'all? Right, yo, Lou, what's good?
WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye. I'm Patrice Gibbs.
Nsoromma in the building.
All right. What happened to our hate crime bill? Is it really needed? Well, consider this. Woman sentenced to life with parole for killing black man during citizen's arrest.
She's sentenced to life with parole.
With parole. With the possibility of parole.
Oh, so she got a life sentence.
Right.
But if she do her 25 years, she can get out.
She might be able to get out.
She might be able to. For killing a black guy that she ain't had no business talking to or messing with.
Right, exactly.
And now that's white privilege for you. Hey.
Not only that, but the way they word this. All right. I took this headline, I think from AP or somewhere.
All right, let's see.
Woman sentenced to life with parole for killing man during citizen's arrest. This was no citizen's arrest.
Oh, this is the girl that followed him 100 blocks after the accident or something, and the lady told her to stop. Stop tracing him, please.
And 911 told him not to follow her.
She should be locked up just for that, because the 911 lady told her to stop, and she didn't. So, yeah, she should be parole shouldn't even be an aspect.
And she's sitting up there when she was found guilty with her chin quivering. You didn't think of all that stuff when you thought your white privilege was going to kick in and save you from this crap that
Oh,
you
she was
did.
acting them when her tip was crippling and all that. You know, they can kick in and start acting. They do that when the cops go, oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
she
my
was
God.
sentenced.
Yeah.
Hannah Payne, 24 years old.
Hannah Payne.
Mm-hmm. She is handcuffed and wearing her green prison uniform and was emotional during the sentencing in Clayton County on Friday. As family and friend and co-worker took the stand to speak on her behalf. They asked for leniency from the judge, while the victim's family requested a life sentence for Payne without the possibility of parole. And the judge was a black woman, by the way.
You know, they look black, but they don't be black.
Yeah, all those skin folk ain't our kin folk.
Yeah, that's crazy to me too. I don't understand that either.
Yeah, Judge Jules Scott bestowed some mercy on Payne, handing down a sentence of life with possibility of parole for the murder of 62-year-old Kenneth Herring, whom she chased down and shot after he ran a red light in May 2019 and caused a minor crash. All right?
And they always show mercy, not to cut you off, they always show mercy to white people and never show mercy to black people.
No.
Never.
No. Ain't no mercy for us.
Right.
And she was also sentenced to 8 consecutive years for false imprisonment and 5 consecutive years of possession of a firearm. All right. Now, here's the thing. The man went into a diabetic seizure.
Right.
And was confused, and that's why he drove off after this little hit and run. Now, she said, this Hannah Payne said, she claimed that at one point, Herring knocked the phone out. She testified that she was under the impression with having 911 on the phone that she would be a messenger. A messenger of what? Death? Jeez Louise. The fatal confrontation happened moments later when Payne caught up with Herring, who was stopped in a turning lane at an intersection and demanded he return to the scene of the crash. Now, who this hussy thinks she is? Somebody deputized her?
You know, that privilege is serious.
Yeah.
They think anyway.
Yep. We're loud. It's near an interstate. It's a busy road. I can't hear what he's saying to me. But as I'm getting closer to him, I hear him ask me, who the F am I? That's a lie. He didn't do that. She claimed at one point Herring knocked the phone out her hand and then reached out the window and grabbed her, ripping her shirt. Then he mashed on the gas, briefly dragging her with the car. That's a lie. He didn't do that. Payne said that's when she told Herring that she had a gun, which she then showed to him. I pulled it out immediately and started trying to just continue to push against the door with it, like pushing him away from it. And he grabbed my hand and, with the gun in it. And as he was pulling it, and he was pulling it, and the trigger went off. And that's what happened.
Bang!
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what happened.
You mean it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. With this hussy didn't take into account there was witnesses to the dirty murder that she committed.
Right, because it was straight murder, right?
And that's right. And the witnesses said that Payne chased Herring down, cut him off with her car, then jumped out, very aggressively ran up to his car, cursed him out, and immediately started punching the confused man through the window.
What? That's Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
She then took out her gun.
Oh, she went all the way to Steven Seagal.
Threatened to shoot him twice, and then immediately shot him dead.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what.
I guess that was her Zimmerman move.
See, that's what, and that's it. She thought she was gonna get off like Zimmerman.
Yeah.
You know, but she was in the wrong place for that crap.
Whatever happened to that guy anyway? Is he still living? Is he dead? Is he in jail? What?
Nah, he's still walking around.
I don't understand how that's happening. All the gang members out here in the world.
Man, you stole my line.
What kind of gang members we got?
You know?
I don't understand, man.
I don't get it either, bro. How you in a gang talking all this crap, running up on black people, and this, that, and the other, but we got white murderers walking around free.
You let slide.
You letting them slide.
Oh, they get a pass, huh?
You know?
I don't understand that, man. We need to have more warriors on our team.
That's what we need, bro. We need more warriors on our team. Bigger than big. WHGE 95.3 FM. The Open Eye.
Y'all got. Yo, Jardel, you going in?
My brother Jardel over there.
Aha! Exactly why he's still walking around. He's still breathing. That's our fault. Her inner Zimmerman, he said. Her inner Zimmerman took over.
Yeah, that's what happened. Her
Oh my God. Yo, man. We have to be warriors for real, man. When somebody do something to one of our brothers, all of our brothers and sisters come up to help and revenge that situation. Not just talk about it, but make something happen. Be the destructor to the destructee. You know what I'm saying? Quit playing this game, man. They are out to do us dirty like they've been doing us for the last 250 years.
More than that.
More than that, but I just was rounding the number off. You know what I'm saying? But yo.
WHGE 95.3 FM, The Open Eye with Nsoromma and Patrice Gibbs. Bringing it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that name sounds.
Don't sound funky.
Yeah, it sounds like it's got. You get ready to say something the way you said Alabama.
Yeah. You know it's some racist stuff going on.
That's crazy. Okay, what happened, brother? What happened?
Oh yeah, Alabama's prison work programs are modern day slavery. A lawsuit alleges. No kidding. And ain't just in Alabama, but Alabama is a major...
The leader.
Yeah.
The leading...
Yeah. Current and former inmates have filed a class action lawsuit accusing Alabama's prison labor program of being a type of modern day slavery. It's come from CBS 42 down south. According to the lawsuit, inmates in Alabama prison system are forced to work in jobs that benefit the government or private companies for little or no pay. The lawsuit also alleges that the state maintains a discriminatory parole system with a low release rate to ensure a supply of laborers. Okay, so what they do is, you know, if you're coming up for parole or early release, what have you, they do little technology and what have you to see to it that you don't get out because they want that slave labor.
And I just read somewhere that it's not only for the railroads now. They hiring them in Burger King and McDonald's and Sears. They hiring them in stores now. It's not about working on the side of the road and stuff like that anymore.
One of them dry ass biscuits from Popeyes, they was made in the prison system.
Dry biscuits?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. You know, I swear. You know, my boy told me he had some of them Popeye biscuits. He didn't eat them, but his neighbor's dog next door would never shut up. So they gave him one of them biscuits. I ain't heard a damn thing from him since. The forced labor scheme that currently exists in the Alabama prison system is the modern reincarnation of the notorious convict leasing system that replaced slavery after the Civil War.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was from Janet Harrell, the legal director of the Justice Catalyst Law. The lawsuit also cites a forced labor scheme that coerces prisoners into work. On-paid jobs allegedly include tasks that help keep prison facilities running. Okay, so they in there with skills, doing slave labor, fixing the plumbing and the air conditioning, and heating and stuff. Inmates may work jobs where businesses pay minimum wage or more, but the prison system keeps 40% of the prisoners' pay to cover the cost of their incarceration. Wow. Yeah. The lawsuit calls the 40% takeaway a labor trafficking fee. So that's just like, you know, during slavery, right? You had a skilled slave, you could rent him out to another plantation because he was highly skilled. Right. Okay? And you know, that other slave master or the other plantation owner might pay him $10. All right. Well, they give them a little more now. They only keep 40%. They kept 80 to 90% doing when they release out a slave.
Right.
And here's the thing about convict leasing. Okay, now if you're a corporation, right, and you hire the prison system to produce your widgets, right, okay, and if you were to have employees produce your widgets, you got to pay them salary, you might have to pay them overtime, you might have to pay up medical insurance, and what have you. Right. You ain't got to do none of that. Right. All you do is pay a flat fee for these prisoners to produce your widgets and keep it moving. Right. And half of that flat fee, or a little bit more, go to me, and I give them what I feel like giving them. That's it. Wow. That's it. That's word. And if you didn't work, you were at risk of going back to the prison or getting a disciplinary infraction. Okay? And that was one of the prisoners, LaKiera Walker, who was incarcerated for 15 years. And I think the first time I heard someone say that, it was one in Mississippi, a brother in prison down there. And they're picking cotton, got them picking cotton. And most of them prisons are privatized. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, who can you complain to about that? Yeah. Yeah. Right. Well, had them picking cotton. Okay. And if you didn't get out in the sun and pick that cotton, right, you know what they would lock you in a trailer with no air conditioner. One of them big metal trailers. Oh, hot box you. Hot box you. Hot box you. After 2 days in there, you come out and you be a cotton picking fool. Boo. You can believe that. Man, that's crazy. Yeah. And that's cruelty, right? That's certain things that you can't do when you locked up that go against humanity. Yeah. And cruel and unusual punishment. Yeah, is what it's called. And where's the punishment? Where's the police? And where's the whoever it is that's supposed to? Yeah, these courts and all that. I don't. Yeah, that's worried. Well, it couldn't be really cruel and unusual if you're blacked out in the sun, because black people are melanated and they can take the sun. Yeah. But we can't take without no air. How about that? How about that? And now the state claims that the prison jobs prepare inmates for after their release. Okay? Yeah. You go to hell. How they come up with this crap? Yo, it'd be messy, man. Big time it'd be messy. Yo, that's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. And see, the thing is this. Poverty in America is criminal. That's right. If you poor in America, especially you black and poor. Now, it's safe to say that crime has existed as long as humans have been on this planet. Right. Not that kind of crime. No. Let's say crime has been, has existed as long as we've been in contact with Europeans. But did you know that there's a recipe for crime that allows you to create crime where none may exist? Okay? It's a true story. Let's break it down into two parts, the recipe and the application. First, the recipe. Check this out. Right. People minus resources plus proximity and opportunity equals crime. Okay? So, how do you apply that? Well, here are your instructions. So, you start off with a bunch of people and you place them in an economically depressed area where all the good paying jobs and grocery stores have been removed and been replaced with gas stations, liquor stores, and pawn shops. That's the hood. The reason you want to do that is because now you have a group of people with little to no income and no access to nutritious food, who have a bunch of bills and are now hungry, who then go to the liquor store to self-medicate, while other economically depressed people are waiting for the opportunity for you to leave so that they can steal whatever you have, bring it to the pawn shop, and get money to either feed their daily habits or their addictions. Right. And that's how you create crime where none exists. Because creating crime justifies policing, and policing justifies locking people up.
Or killing them.
Mm-hmm. And locking people up fulfills the state's contracts that they sign with private prisons to keep those prisons at 80 to 90% occupancy.
Which is the blacks.
Yeah. Even though crime rates have fallen, and all of that provides the United States government with a labor force that they can pay slave wages to, because in the United States, slavery is a form of punishment for anyone who's been convicted of a crime. That's the end game. That's the entire purpose of creating crime. And that's why they call it the projects, because the end goal is to justify the criminalization and the enslavement of an entire group of people, black people, make it legal for them to arrest our leaders, raid our homes, break up our meetings, and then vilify us night after night after night on the evening news. And they knew they were lying, and that's why they call it the projects. Because the project was to figure out how to create crime where none exists. Also, black on black crime doesn't exist. It's a myth created by white supremacists to support the notion of black criminality.
Because it's just as more white crimes as black crimes. Maybe more, right, in their neighborhoods.
White on white crime is just as prevalent in their own neighborhood, because crime is a thing of proximity. You commit the crimes against the people that you're around. Right. Right. The only people that export their crime are white people who will go to black neighborhoods and terrorize them, shoot them, and blow stuff up. And they've been doing that. Now the notion of black criminality stems from us simply existing within white spaces. Because of us being off the plantation was something suspicious. All right. Ever since we've been off the plantation, we're lazy and criminal. Oh, you won't work for free? You're a criminal. And you're lazy. And after the emancipation of enslaved Africans, the very first law that went into effect was vagrancy laws. And vagrancy laws meant anybody who didn't have a job or means to support themselves or a place to stay was a vagrant. How that work? Okay, you just got freed from the plantation with nothing.
Right, 5 minutes ago, and it's dusk. It's dusk, and you ain't supposed to be outside at dark. And they just let you off at 5:33, and it get dark 6 o'clock.
You know, you ain't got nowhere to go. You ain't got no job. Okay, therefore you're a vagrant. Now you're back in prison, who leases you out to the same plantation that you were emancipated from.
That's crazy.
All right. Now, here's the thing. The plantation, when you were a slave, they had to feed you, clothe you, and take care of you.
Right.
They ain't got to do that no more. Now the prison feeds you and clothes you. And sees to your medical well-being, which they don't. Right. Okay. So what the plantation did was, you know what? Now when, we had slaves, that was an investment. So we had to, look after our investment. Right. Okay. Now, no, it's not an investment. We just renting this equipment out. Right. And if we wear the equipment out to death.
Wear the equipment out to death.
That's right. Because your life expectancy as a convict, as a leased convict, was much lower than your life expectancy as a slave who was an investment. So they would work you to death because the prison got some more black people over there for you to rent out. So if this one dies, it's not a big deal.
Servitude.
Yeah.
Legal slavery.
Yeah.
Brother Mispa.
Yeah.
For them to have the audacity to put all of these programs in effect, you gotta just think that how they were thinking. Okay, we gotta let these slaves go. So we really don't want to let them go now.
But we got to.
But we got to. So we got to come up with a scheme to basically keep them. We can't let them go.
That's it.
Come on, man.
Yeah. And that's why, after, the newly freed African who didn't have a plantation to work on. Right. And overnight, the prison population went from 95% white to 95% black. where we were released back to the plantations we were just freed from.
Wow.
Okay? And this, I'm going to tell you something. I had a little caveat in there for you. That's why a lot of black people don't like Kamala Harris, or however you say that.
Right, because he used to lock them up like nothing.
Yeah. And she would do things to see to it that prisoners didn't get released so that the state could continue to get free labor. WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye, Patrice Gibbs.
Nsoromma in the building. Yo, what's happening? Dana, yo, Lil, what's up? Mark, what's happening, boy? Ah! Yo, Jordan, what you say now? Europeans, a.k.a. albinoids, a.k.a. recessive. Oh, man. We have a lot of black politician prisoners, a.k.a. black warriors, that they don't want to see the light of day. Oh, most definitely. They locked them up. If they got a black person that can enhance other black people to become strong and stick together, let's go get them. Yo, get that crazy look. You see that crazy look I just hit you with? Yo, they don't want that. You got 1,000 of us like that? What? Come on, man. Yeah. They definitely don't want it in the neighborhoods. You know?
Yeah, that's right. Open Eye.
Right.
Gibbs.
Right. And your boy Nsoromma.
In the building. Okay. Now, one of the things that we see, and it's been going on for years, all right?
Right.
Is white people running around flying the Confederate flag.
Was the Confederate flag a black flag?
No. The Confederate flag was, you know, the battle flag for the
Civil War, right?
Yeah, for the Civil War.
But I thought the whole Civil War was about blacks getting out of slavery.
Yeah.
And I thought that black people was the ones running that flag for freedom.
No. The Confederate flag was the flag of the Confederate States of America.
Oh, okay.
All right. And you know what? Here's the thing. All right? Because the Confederate flag really should be outlawed. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I got a little caveat at the end of that, but let me break this down. Only in America is the flag of defeated traitors and insurrectionists allowed to be freely flown.
Okay.
Those descendants of the old Confederacy who insist on flying the flag loudly declare it is not about hate but heritage. Alright? That's the Southern heritage. It's not about hating black people. Alright? That's crap. It has everything to do with hate. These Confederate flag flyers are dishonest cowards who don't have the courage of their convictions. If it is about your heritage, then shame on you. The heritage that the Confederate flag symbolizes is a culture of hate, slavery, terrorism, murder, rape, thievery, oppression, insurrection, and treason. The Confederate flag should only be seen in museums.
And really shouldn't be seen then because it was a terrible time.
Yeah, but we don't want to forget.
Right.
You know, anyone caught flying the flag in public should be charged with sedition and put in jail. The punishment should be more severe for any fool caught flying the flag within 10 miles of the nation's capital. All right? And you had this fool, he out there flying the flag right in front of the White House.
Wow.
Right in the nation's capital. All right? Now, how do we get to a place where the traitors of the country who try to succeed on the country and wage war on the country because they wanted black people to be slaves, now run around flying the flag that they used when they were committing treason and were traitors against their own country? Well, you know what? Let me tell you how we get here. Okay? Okay? I'm sure we're all familiar at this point with the scare and terror group known as Moms for Liberty. Okay, but just like the Chris Hemsworth version of Red Dawn, they're just a tone-deaf reboot of propaganda from the past. I got this from this white dude. He broke it down. He said, I'm speaking, of course, about the daughters of Confederacy, the United Daughters of the Confederacy. Now, you've been told by somebody whose teeth and IQ are competing for a low score.
Right.
All right. You understand what I said? The teeth and the IQ are competing for a low score. You seen some of them Confederate fools who got about 3 teeth and their IQ is about 6. All right. And they're going to sit up there and tell you the Civil War wasn't about slavery.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That's what they say. And then start blabbering on about wearing your history heritage, not about states' rights, taxes. And you wonder to yourself, how did this blatant stupidity and misinformation become so prolific in our country?
Because they push it.
Yeah. You know, the Confederacy lost the war, but they won the peace. If history is written by the victors, how in the hell did the treason tribe end up with all these participation trophies? You know, when you get a trophy for just being there. Yeah, you lost the damn war. And now you run around flying the Confederate flag and putting up monuments. There's nothing but participation trophies. You got your ass kicked. All right, and that's the narrative. And got a narrative that's favorable to them, but incredibly antithetical to history. And there's a few reasons that played out that way. But the biggest one is the United Daughters of the Confederacy. And don't forget the dirt that white women had done. All right? Textbooks that describe their Benedict Arnold ancestors as honorable, courageous, and valiant. Right. That describe that insurrection as the war of... And that's another thing.
What?
They don't call it the war, the Civil War.
Oh, okay. What they call it?
The War of Northern Aggression.
The War of Northern Aggression.
Ain't there something? Now, you're going to start... And see, that just go right in line with who these people are. You're going to start a fight, right?
Right.
And get your ass kicked. Ooh. And then you run around talking about, well, hey, they wasn't so aggressive, this wouldn't have happened and I wouldn't have to go to the hospital. The War of Northern Aggression.
I didn't think they could fight like that.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Those boys were serious. Sir.
And that, of course, downplayed or completely ignored the issue of slavery while making up other reasons why they did all this crap. You've heard in regards to the Civil War, you were taught in school that you found out later was untrue. And
I know that's crazy too. Yeah. Not to cut you off. Like all the history that we've been studying that they brought us up on is all propaganda. All propaganda. Oh, that's crazy.
Because and you know it's amazing. You know, the Daughters of Confederacy and the efforts to rewrite history, they became so influential, okay, at one point where often they were just writing the textbooks themselves and giving it to schools and telling them that this is what they're going to teach. Yeah, one textbook written by Miss Essie F. Rose. See, that tell you right there.
Essie F. Rose?
Essie.
Essie.
Yeah.
And the F is for, I ain't even gonna tell you it's going. But anyway.
Well, she wrote a textbook titled The Ku Klux Klan or the Invisible Empire and was dedicated to the youth of the Southland in hopes that the usual pages will inspire them with respect and affirmation for Confederate soldiers who were the real Ku Klux and whose deeds of courage and valor have never been surpassed and rarely equal in the annals of history.
In the annals of history?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and that ain't no joke.
I know, and they put listen.
That's a literal textbook written by the United Daughters of the Confederacy to teach children of the 20th century. And that's why you got so many dumb ass white people running around talking about slaves learn skills that help them out. Help them
I mean, if it could just be a genie thing where you can snap your finger and put them in our shoes for just a couple years and see how they think then.
Right. You know, because, you know, and you still got people running around. No, the Civil War wasn't about slavery, it was about stage rapes.
Right.
Okay, you didn't read your own damn history and what the leaders of the Confederacy said they were fighting the Civil War for, why they succeeded from the Union. They said specifically, blatantly, that the reason for them succeeding was because they needed, wanted, insisted on having black people as slaves. Wow. But people will reject these irrefutable facts in favor of things that they believe in their heart to be true because that's what they learned when they were young. And it's what makes them feel good. See, history ain't supposed to make you feel good. It's supposed to make you think.
And feel bad if you was on the wrong side.
If you was on the wrong side.
Doing it to people.
That's right. And see, they tied the Confederacy in this ridiculous idea of the lost cause to the cultural identity of the people from the South. See, and that put their whole emotional well-being into it.
You said the lost cause of their identity.
Yeah, the lost cause. Yeah, you know, that's what they call the Civil War, the lost cause. You know, and like I said, you know, they tied it to their cultural identity. This is part of their culture, part of their heritage of hate. All right. That's where
to hang people with their children there,
right?
And with their kids there. We want to go watch this hanging. Come on, kids, let's go.
That's where
that is sickening.
You know, it is. It is. You know, and that's why you find these people against every single step forward in social justice and civil rights, up against and you know, and it's something because these things we run up against the brick wall that the daughters of Confederacy built. And we're still dealing with it today. And now we got the moms of liberty that are nothing but the same thing because these ignorant, palm-colored, mayonnaise brigade, racist-ass hussies, all right? They ban books. All they have to do is see that the book has something to do with black people
History.
or written by a black person or have black people in it, and they want that book banned because it makes them feel bad.
Well, that's worse than Germans coming in and breaking in people's houses and burning up their books and all of their information that let them know who they were.
That's right.
You know, disappearing them out of history.
Don't let these hussies, because they nothing but they call themselves the moms of liberty, the moms of fascism. Don't let them do to your children and grandchildren what the daughters of Confederacy, the daughters of treason did to your parents and grandparents, because the damage, the oppression, and the hate lasts a lifetime. Wake the hell up. Boop. That's word. Yeah, buddy.
Wow, bro.
Yeah. You know, it's amazing how quick that hour goes. And I started out this morning thinking that, you know, I wasn't going to be prepared to give people a real good taste of what they need to know. But, you know, here we are. It's 12 o'clock.
What?
Yeah, but I'm in with this. All right? One of the problems with our people is that we are not ready for the responsibility of revolution and nationhood. Notice I said the responsibility.
Right.
One of the biggest problems is that we have been robbed of our knowledge of managing the state.
Right.
And as history shows, the African was very good at managing the state. From ancient Nubia through Kemet to medieval Benin to Songhai, Mali, Ghana, the African was very good at managing the state indeed.
Right.
Okay? Somehow the African in America retained this knowledge for quite some time, even in the face of brutal bondage. The irrefutable evidence of the amazing resiliency of the African are the hundreds of well-run black communities that sprung up all over America as soon as the physical chains of bondage were removed. And of course, the history of America does not want to talk about the fact that most of these thriving black communities were destroyed by white supremacy, including white citizens and the American government.
Wow.
So when I say we should outlaw the Confederate flag, okay, don't get too excited about that, because the American flag is drenched with the blood of our people.
That's right.
That's word. Remember, when African ruled the world, it was a much better place. When black men ruled the world, something very important the ancient black people of Africa understood was balance. There was no word for poverty. There was no word for jail. The world was rich with resources that were freely shared, so no one had to rob and murder. That's why they were able to advance and progress and build and create and philosophize and ponder and learn and teach. When black men ruled the world is still rich with resources. Unfortunately, control of the world's resources have been seized by a bunch of white supremacist thugs and gangsters out of Europe and America. These thugs have also done a lot of environmental damage and seem hell-bent on destroying the world. These nefarious psychopaths have wantonly raped, robbed, murdered for centuries, and they must be stopped. At this point, the only true viable solution is global African supremacy. I'm Patrice Gibbs.
Nsoromma.
This is the Open Eye. And like we always tell you, destiny determines who enters your life, but you decide who stays. Therefore, value those who value you, and don't treat those as a priority
who treat you as an option. Promoting hatred leaves you all dumb and unable to think.
The Open Eye, WHGE 95.3 FM.
Yaga. Brother Miss Bob, what's good? Yo, Brother Jardell, yo, Tracy, yo, Kiana, Officer, yo, Sergeant Slaughter, what up, us? What's good? Yo, you know what it is, Black Power all day. Yo, Daryl, yo, you know what it is. Luke, thanks for tuning in, you know what I'm saying? Who else is up on it? Yo, hey, yo, Jardell was going in. Sherry, what's happening? Steven, hey, yo, listen. Thank y'all for tuning in, you know what I'm saying? We just here to educate y'all and keep it going on and, you know, putting that warrior back in your soul. So hold on. The only viable solution is global African supremacy. It's the only way. Streaming all platforms too. Go get that, you know what I'm saying? Nsoromma and Mr. Gibbs. Yeah.
All right.
Voila.